G'day, I'm Sog,
And I'm Brad.
and we're your A-League Couch Critics. And today we're going to be reacting to the grand final, having a bit of chat. Who was best on the field? Was it the right result? Let's get into it, Bradley.
Nice.
Alrighty, so grand final, obviously, Sydney FC came out on top, 1-0.
Did they? Sorry, I'm still watching it on delay on ABC.
Still going. They haven't yet entered extra time.
Sorry, my work phone's going off. Let's shush that.
So, 1-0 win to Sydney FC, 100th minute goal for
Yeah.
Ryan Grant off his shoulder.
Yeah, the fella from Canawindra out here in the central west.
Canawindra.
Canowindra.
Bradley, what do you think? You obviously a neutral for that game.
Not a neutral.
Not quite neutral, more a City supporter. What would you say? How did you find the game? To be clear, we watched it a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
But Bradley couldn't help himself. He has to check his phone.
I can't sit there and... No, I just can't watch anything on delay. If I want to I'll wake up in the middle of the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, to just check how Liverpool's going, because I just don't watch replays.
Yeah.
I need to watch it live. But anyway.
Whereas I turned my phone off about 2 hours before, put it on Do Not Disturb as well.
And I'm saying, oh, would you look at that? It's 6-0 already within 3 minutes.
So I definitely didn't know the score. But Bradley, what did you make of the match?
Oh, definitely more exciting than last year. I mean, last year was probably the worst grand final ever. So it's not that hard to beat it. Yeah, I mean, an exciting game. Plenty of chances for both sides. I think there was plenty of chances for both teams to win it. Obviously, only one could win it. And I think, it was great that it didn't go to penalties, because I just think penalties is just basically a lottery. So, VAR controversy as usual. I don't know. Didn't probably disappoint with the VAR controversy, but I think it was a fairly entertaining game with plenty of chances, and Melbourne City could have won it, but Sydney FC won it too. So I think probably the fair result at the end of the day. Not at the end of the day, probably in comparison to the season.
At the end of the season,
I think on the day, I think it was pretty even, and there's probably fair chances for both teams to win it. But minor premiers, Sydney FC, so I think a fair result.
Yeah, look, and we called it in our predicting the final series.
I didn't.
We both put down that Sydney would win.
No, I didn't. I put City down.
No, you said Sydney in the video. You said, I want City to win, but it'll probably be Sydney.
I'm pretty sure I said... Oh, whatever.
Caitlin will chuck that.
Whatever.
Flashback. At the grand final, Sydney versus City. Bradley, who are you tipping?
I'm tipping the Central Coast, man. No, I'm tipping Melbourne City.
I think what you said there, it's the season as a whole. City came good towards the end, but Sydney were too good. That VAR controversy, now it's kind of gone around a little bit. People coming out and saying, City were robbed, and, Beef loves Sydney, and they only won because of VAR. That Delbridge goal, and I tell you what, we were sitting there, weren't we? And I said, that's been coming for about 18 minutes. It was all City to start, and that was the wake-up call that really got Sydney into the game.
Yeah.
It was a great strike from Delbridge. Yeah. It's fallen out. He's hit it well. Who knows if Lachie Wales isn't there? I don't think Redmayne's getting there anyway. I think he scores that goal if there's no one there still. But, comes out looking at the law. You see the angles. He is in his field of view. By the law, it kind of goes.
I don't think
right.
anyone really called for it.
No, I don't think so. But
we did. I think it's a bit harsh on City, but I don't think it's. I see where the ref's coming from. But like you said, I don't think Redmayne's going to do anything about that. And then there's, you take Wales out of the picture, then there's other Sydney FC players in the way. But,
he's the one in the offside position.
It is the rule, so,
unfortunately. And then Sydney have a bit of a claim for a penalty. You don't like Adam Lafondra.
I just think like there's a lot of players out there that just spend too much time on the ground, and if he was not whinging and he wasn't diving all the time, he probably scored more goals, which is saying something because he scores quite a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And I think it probably went against him because he just whinges all day, he dives all day, and that's probably why the ref thought, no, I'm not having any of it because of your form.
Well,
Replay.
It could have been given.
Probably could have been
if
given,
it was
but
given by VAR.
it probably wouldn't have been
I don't think it
overturned,
would have
like
been
the commentator said.
Yeah.
I
think it was fair not to be a penalty though. I don't think it was the worst tackle. He's come across a little bit, but I don't think it's horrible. I wouldn't have given a penalty.
Because it's a contact sport. Listen to me, I'm the expert. It's contact sport. Speedy, you just stick to comment. Anyway.
And then I guess if we're talking about, the laws of the game, because I said, the offside rule, it's there in the laws. So Bradley as well is the law about lifting your shirt over your head.
Yeah, I think.
What's your reaction?
I think that was the most clearest decision that was stuffed up the whole day. I think the offside, probably fair. The penalty, go with whatever the ref called. I think the law is pretty clear in that one that any kind of lifting of the shirt. And I looked this up because I remember when I played in Lithgow, I scored a goal and I did the same thing. And your mum's like, you should have been booked for that. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to take the whole shirt off. She's like, no, you should have been booked. So I was like, all right, I'll go home and look up the rule. I should have been booked.
So if you lift your shirt over your face or reveal a slogan, it's supposed to be a yellow card.
I thought it was complete shirt off,
but what I have seen, and I agree with this view of it, is that people have been calling out for, particularly with that rule, for refs to have a sense of the occasion, the feeling, and to not, when Jadon Sancho, after the Black Lives Matter, lifted up his shirt and gets a yellow card, people are outraged because they're going, have some common sense about the situation. And I feel like Beef did the right thing in that situation. You can see Ryan Grant, as soon as he does it, he's scrambling to get it off because he's realised he's on a yellow. But I think we want that passion and emotion. Yes, it could go either way there, but I think that is a time where the feeling of the game comes into it, as opposed to the offside VAR call. And no one got a yellow card in that situation. But that's not the sense of the occasion is whether it's offside or not. No, whereas I feel like this one's a bit more. Yeah, this is a big goal. It's a winning goal in a grand final. There can be a little bit of common sense and understanding in that.
No, I don't think so. I think the rule's as clear as the offside rule. I don't actually like the rule, and I think it shouldn't be the rule. I think you should be able to whip off. Well, I don't know, actually, maybe that's the way that there's a rule. I think it's very clear that the rules say you take your shirt off or you expose yourself by taking your shirt off. It's a yellow card. I don't think there's any black and white. I think it is black and white. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
And I don't think there should be any leniency because, taking your shirt off, celebrating, taking your shirt off for Black Lives Matter, or taking your shirt off because you're pissed off and you got subbed off. I think the rule is very clear. I'm not actually a fan of the rule, but especially when it comes to celebrating goals, I don't like the rule, but it is the rule, and I think the rule, and
I understand that it's in there, so I can see why people say maybe should have, and maybe that could have turned. Melbourne City pushed hard for those last couple of minutes, but it is what it is. Rules and those calls aside, they were the big ones. Ryan Grant goes on to claim the Joey Marston medal, and he did run non-stop all game and made some great defensive tackles. But Brad, is there anyone else that stood out to you as potential for...
probably Tom Glover.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like anyone like McLaren, because was McLaren even on the field?
Did McLaren
I remember
play?
in the second half he got a touch. I was like, why is he even playing? No, I think for Glover, and if City had won it, probably Glover. Or even if it went to penalties, I probably would have given it to Glover. But people say Glover got robbed. I'm like, yeah, but a majority of the time it goes to the winning team. Not always, but on most cases. And, I think it probably should always go to the winning team, especially in a grand final. But
I thought Glover was fantastic. Yeah. Like, he made some big saves. I think, actually, Sydney had the better chances in the match. If Craig Noon actually let off a shot, Sydney would have been in trouble. But I think Redmayne made that kind of one tip-over save. There's a couple straight at him. But Glover did really well. He came out. He was commanding of his box. And he'll be maybe a little disappointed in his team's defence for the goal that Sydney scored.
Yeah.
Ryan Grant's just kind of sitting out there alone on that back post.
And he hasn't even had a shot with his foot. He's had it with his left nipple.
Other players, I thought City played really well. So Josh Belante actually had a really good game and controlled a lot of the possession. Luna, dealing with a head wound, played pretty well. Yeah. And Richard Widdenbichler at the back was pretty solid most of the game. He did a great job. And from Sydney, Ryan Grant did play really well. I was impressed with Caceres, and I was a bit interested that he got subbed off rather than Retre. Retre was solid, but nothing amazing. Yeah. And Luke Bratton as well. You can see Brillante and Bratton, they are very similar kind of players. They dictate play, they hold out. That was really interesting to watch. So I thought it was a really entertaining grand final, much better than last year. Yeah. And Sydney come out on top. So that's the end of the season. Sydney FC are the champion, and that's number 5 for them. 5 championships, which if you count all Australian football, and whether or not the other teams would have gotten there if they'd still been in the national competition, Sydney now go top. They've got the most national championships of any club in Australia, which in 15 years, claiming 5 titles, it's not a bad little little take from them. They go top, and we talked about, this was their chance to really cement their space. Yeah. Melbourne Victory fans obviously are going to have a little bit to say about them. Poor fellas having to watch a Sydney City grand final. But do you see anyone catching Sydney for next season? Calling it now.
Oh, you already want to give me a tip. Well, I think the Sarah Cup's going to have a lot to say, and there's really whispers about Adam Lafondra, whether he's going to stick on or not. I don't know. I think, give it a few months to see how this the decrease in the salary cap plays out, and see what players they will lose and what players they might gain. It's probably going to be more about who actually leaves the A-League. I think there'll be quite a few leaving the A-League because of the uncertainty of money. We saw that with Mitch Duke, that he's already left because he doesn't know, and the Wanderers don't know what they can offer him with the salary cap. So, I don't know. I think City, if they keep their coach, I think there's a lot of good things there with City, especially with their academy and their juniors that are coming through. I think City are setting themselves up. Hopefully for a good future. Although they have let a lot of players go, like Luke Bratton and a few of the other. There's a few Sydney FC boys from City, but I don't know. I still think it's early days. I really like what MacArthur are building, but still they haven't got their full squad together. So I ain't gonna pick. I definitely think they're catchable. Yeah. It's just let's just see how everything unfolds with the salary cap and who leaves and who stays.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think Sydney's dominance has come out of consistency. So that keeping a similar kind of group of players, even, when Arnie left, Corica, who was assistant, takes over. So there's that consistency going through the club. And if clubs can keep teams consistent into this next season where the salary cap's going to look different and who knows what is going to happen, I think if other teams can be consistent, they can close the gap. But if Sydney stay consistent as well and keep a fairly consistent squad, they're going to look strong again. The mail doesn't look good for City keeping their coach. Yeah. What's his name? Montbert. Yeah. It doesn't look good, but it looks like Patrick Kisnorbo could take over and he should do a good job. But I think that consistency is going to be the big thing. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about our competition now?
Yes. So we're going to finish off this video by revealing the winner of our giveaway. So a couple of weeks ago, we predicted our final series. We said if anyone could pick the winner of the finals before the final actually happened, they go into the draw to win one of these, our Adelaide My Team face. And so there were 4 people who picked the winner, but one of them's my wife, so I don't.
She doesn't count.
Yeah, she doesn't go in the draw.
And she wasn't going to pick anyone else anyway.
But we've got the 3 winners. I've got them here, so I'm going to put them into the bag, and Bradley's going to pick out a winner. And this person is going to win the My Team face. Who have you got, Bradley?
J-ZD5418588.
It's an incredible username.
So thanks for entering J-ZD5418588.
We'll try and get in contact with you so that you can email us and we'll organise your very special giveaway prize.
And what we'd love is for you to actually put the tattoo on and send us a photo.
That would be fantastic. On Twitter, email it.
Make sure you do it on like a Friday night because, if you've got work the next day, you probably want to give it time to wash it
We
out.
haven't tried ours yet.
We're not probably going to try it.
So that's the end of this video. Let us know what you thought of the final. We think it was a pretty good final as far as finals go. And make sure to leave a like, make sure to comment, and subscribe if you're new here and you haven't yet. We've cracked that 69 mark finally, which is lovely.
Why are you laughing?
Help us get to 100.
What's funny about
And
it?
Bradley, I thought I'd just finish as well by
What's funny about it?
just offering. Would you like to wear a Sydney FC shirt? Because we're the champions. So
No.
I mean, you can.
No.
It looks good on you. Blue's good colour. No. Yeah.
This is a family show, so I'm not going to raise my finger.
See you guys next week.
See ya.